Awesome. Well, again, thank you guys so much for coming on board tonight and joining us. This is our second episode of Jen's Open Door. And the last one was great. As I said previously, I really love doing these. I'm very much an open book and hence open door policy. That's how I run my program, and that's how, I always have been. So I really love doing these and talking with you guys, and I just appreciate y'all taking the time. I love being able to share what the NAFTA board, all of the committees, the volunteers, and the staff have been working on. And I also really appreciate the opportunity to hear from you guys, answer any questions. So if you have questions that you would like for us to answer tonight, absolutely feel free to type them in the Q&A box. And when I finish my little spiel, we can go ahead and answer them. If it's something that you would rather ask us privately, definitely don't hesitate to email any of us. You can email Phil or Lauren, and they can absolutely get messages to me as well. Um, so basically, the best way for me to kind of sum up what's been going on since we did have our last open door Zoom was we've been busy. It's one word, just busy. And that's really in the best way possible. So first off, I'd like to take a few minutes to kind of talk about the key accomplishments, our various initiatives, and the opportunities that have kind of emerged since we last talked in April. And first off, I do want to go over, there are a few leadership updates that I did want to talk about. So the first one, after several attempts to really kind of adjust workload and life circumstances and stressors, we unfortunately and sadly had to accept the resignation of our director, Drew Mellon. And he had been on the board since February. And I want to thank him for the time and effort that he put forth. And he really tried, guys. His just a huge effort to try to make things work in the few short months that he was with us. And it really is unfortunate that life circumstances had to change for him, but we really wish him the very best. And we really hope that he's able to come back and serve a term on the board someday. So, following that resignation, the board acted to fill the vacancy, and they agreed unanimously with my appointment of Harold Davis to complete the last 6 months or so that's remaining on Drew's term. So, yay! So, a lot of you guys probably know Harold. Harold brings amazing board experience. Not just fresh perspectives, but he's got a huge commitment to our profession. He was also NAFTA's treasurer most recently as 2025. So we're excited to have him back into the NAFTA family, even if it's just only for a few months. We're also super excited to welcome back our former president-elect, Mariel Hendricks. And Mariel stepped away from her president-elect seat last November, but she also recently agreed to provide her amazing leadership skills as the vice chair of our membership committee. And even though she's not back on the board, we are so thrilled that she's come back to help NAFTA with this important committee work. We're also excited to announce that we have retained a DEIB consultant to help with a strategic overview of that committee. And the consultant's going to look at the committee's purpose and priorities and provide recommendations to the board by the year's end. And I'm also thrilled to announce that the DEIB committee has taken on representatives from both BlendVet and Pride VMC to help serve as advisors to that committee. So I'm very excited to see the great work that that committee is going to be doing over the next year. So, speaking of committees, the board also discussed at its May meeting the idea of creating a new committee that's going to strengthen NAFTA's leadership development, our succession planning, and our government practices. So, those three areas, leadership development, succession planning, and government, they were and they are our kind of key areas of concern. Those were mentioned, you guys mentioned that in the membership survey, but we also identified it in our strategic plan as well. So, we've moved very quickly on that committee, and the idea and the board is actually going to be reviewing a charter or job description of this new proposed committee in just a few weeks when we meet in person in August for our Nashville meeting. And as part of the conversations about that new committee, and really, quite frankly, reflecting on the leadership challenges that y'all know we have faced over the last year, we also made a few upgrades and improvement to our board application and nomination process. So beginning this year, the board of directors will be charged with identifying specific needs and desirable skills, traits, and characteristics of potential board members so that the nominating committee can look for candidates who check those boxes. And the nominating committee has been given the authority and the direction to conduct those interviews with the applicants to better understand those qualifications. And if there's anybody interested, we would love to have you apply for a seat on the board. You guys will have the opportunity to attend a Q&A orientation session prior to submitting your application to see if board work is really right for them. All of this is being done with the desire of ensuring that those who are nominated have a really firm foundation and understanding of board responsibilities and that you're prepared and we're setting you up for success from the very beginning and that we're also able to help you become successful leaders. So look for news on those ideas in the next couple weeks as we launch the call for board applicants. So, another exciting development since our last session was also in the vein of providing great leadership training. And we are in the finalization of plans for our upcoming district reps or our DRs. We are having an in-person training in Nashville in just a few weeks. So, our district representatives play a vital role within NAVTA. They serve as our connection to the state associations. They help ensure communication flows both ways. They help identify issues emerging at the state level. They share NAVTA resources with local leaders, and they also help strengthen our advocacy and engagement efforts across the country. And I'm super excited that the committee and the staff, shout out to Lauren, who led this effort, recently finalized the training agenda, which will provide our district representatives with the tools, resources, and leadership development opportunities they need to be effective advocates and ambassadors, not just for the profession, but for NAVTA itself. I got a sneak peek this week at kind of what they're plotting, and it's really going to be amazing for the DRs. So I'm super excited we can report back on how that went at our next open door. I'm also excited to announce that NAVTA was successfully secured a $2,500 grant from the World Small Animal Veterinary Association, or WSAVA, to help support this event. And the WSAVA Scholarship Program is intended to help develop future leaders within veterinary medicine. And WSAVA recognized that while the immediate audience is relatively small for this event, their impact extends far beyond the individuals in the room. And we are so grateful to WSAVA for recognizing the potential impact of this program and investing in the future leadership of our profession. Okay, so let's pivot to some more updates. So collaboration continues to be a major focus for NAVTA, and it has been over the last few months, and it's always going to be. Collaboration is talk, NAVTA has facilitated two very productive meetings of the Coalition for Veterinary Team Excellence, or CVTE. CVTE brings together leaders from across the veterinary profession: AVMA, AHA, AAVSB, VHMA, NAAVR, AVTE, a host of others, again, all the acronyms, to develop strategies and to help optimize veterinary team integration and performance. And these discussions are really important because really no single organization can solve the workforce and practice challenges facing veterinary medicine today. Again, veterinary medicine is a team sport, and why should the organizations be any different? We all need to work together. And it's only through collaboration that we can develop solutions that is going to benefit the entire profession. So we are really proud to be leading these conversations. It's been exhilarating to work with all of these groups. We're all equals. We are all respecting one another, and we are all contributing. And it's an amazing, amazing event. So as you also might imagine, with such a diverse group, though, our opinions, our perspectives are diverse as well. And I'm thrilled to tell you, though, that through our conversations, we've resulted in an agreed upon mission, vision, and goals for this coalition. And they're pretty cool. They're phenomenal. It's not watered down. It's not just words. These are really strong, realistic, and attainable goals and vision. And it's very, very cool. So we will be announcing more of that later on as well. The entire group's going to be meeting in person in just a few weeks. We're going to roll up our sleeves. We're going to start working on strategies to accomplish these goals that we've set. And then once all of that is firmed up, we're going to have a huge announcement for everybody to take in. So, in addition to collaboration, advocacy also remains one of our most important responsibilities. So, over the last few months, NAFTA has provided input to legislators and stakeholders in both West Virginia and Minnesota, as those states have been considering regulations that would have impacted credentialed veterinary technicians. In many cases, policy and regulatory bodies seek guidance from professional organizations like NAFTA because we can provide not just a national perspective, but technical expertise and insight to how that proposed legislation might impact veterinary teams. And it's our goal to always support legislation and regulatory frameworks that strengthen the profession, promote the appropriate utilization and integration of credentialed veterinary technicians, and ultimately improve patient care. So this type of work often happens behind the scenes, but it is so incredibly important. And it's NAFTA's duty to ensure that veterinary technicians have a voice in shaping the future of the profession. And that's a duty that all of us, we really do take seriously. I'd also like to thank the Government Relations Committee, or our GRC, for their work in this domain. In addition to that very tactical work, the board held its spring meeting in May, and we're currently preparing, as I said, we've got an August meeting in just a few weeks. And one of the things that we talked about in May was whether NAFTA's existing position statement on the alternative pathways to becoming a vet tech should be strengthened to reflect our commitment to formal education, credentialing, and professional standards. So as a result of that, we've asked the Veterinary Nurse Initiative Practice and Standards Committee to work on a revised statement for board consideration at the August meeting. And we will also, again, update all of you all as soon as the board makes a decision on this. We also had excellent conversations with representatives from the Committee for Veterinary Technician Specialties, or the CVTS, regarding ways that NAFTA can better support the specialty academies and their credential holders. So one of the ideas that emerged from that discussion was the desire to have webinars that feature the veterinary technician specialists, because who better to give like CE webinars, but the people that are like know everything and are amazing. So as it turns out, the committee, or the continuing education committee, was already working on that. So it was a really kind of nice, just immediate future collaboration topic to kind of tackle. So I'm super happy to announce that the first VTS-centric webinar is scheduled for August 20th, and it's going to be managing hypotension in the anesthetized patients. So if you are interested in registering, you don't have to be a VTS, it's open to everybody. But you can go to our calendar events on the website for more details, and you can register for that. These type of educational programs not only provide valuable continuing education opportunities, but as I said, it also helps showcase the exceptional expertise and contributions of our vet tech specialists across that wide range of disciplines. And we are really excited about more possibilities and look forward to building additional value, not just for the Academy members, but for all NAFTA members. And as NAFTA continues to grow, we are continuously evaluating how best to support our volunteers and committees. One idea currently under consideration is the addition of a staff position dedicated primarily to provide committee support and volunteer engagement, because we're a lot of work. Our committees accomplish an enormous amount of work, but as the projects become more complex and expectations increase, having additional administrative support could really help improve communication, efficiency, coordination, really just help us get more things done, which again is going to help benefit everybody. So this still remains an ongoing discussion, but it does reflect NAFTA's commitment to ensuring that our volunteers have the support that they need to succeed in doing the work that supports our profession and moves it forward. We've also continued to increase our visibility through the veterinary profession. President-elect Anna Santos recently participated in a podcast with the Veterinary Hospital Managers Association, and she talked about, and if you haven't listened, it's amazing, but she talked about NAFTA's position on the VPA role and NAFTA's role in promoting the critical role that credentialed veterinary technicians play within successful veterinary practices. We also, many of us contribute articles and thought leadership content to today's Veterinary Nurse, Veterinary Practice News, and other industry publications. These efforts help elevate the profession. It increases awareness of issues that affect credentialed veterinary technicians, and it helps reinforce that NAFTA is a role as a trusted voice within veterinary medicine. So I'm also excited to share that more than 100 applications were received for this year's Tuition for Technician Scholarship Program. Recipients will be announced in October during National Vet Tech Week, but we owe a big, huge shout out to BI over the last 5 years to the tune of $250,000. So it is not a small contribution. It's made a huge, huge impact. So we are really incredibly grateful to BI for recognizing the importance of veterinary technician education and also partnering with NAVTA on this initiative. And their investment reflects a shared commitment to strengthening the profession and creating opportunities for both current and future veterinary technicians. This is the exact type of partnership that we hope to cultivate, partnerships that provide tangible benefits to our members and help advance the profession in meaningful ways. So speaking of which, this is also the second year that we partner with Purina to sponsor and present two student chapter awards. We have Advisor of the Year and Chapter of the Year at the Association of Veterinary Technician Educators Conference next week. Purina's support allows NAVTA to not only recognize the advisor and the chapter for their great work over the last year, but they also get some nice cash. And with education, cash always helps because a lot of programs really struggle. And so being able to give them some money to help fund stuff that they want to do is really wonderful to be able to help. So thank you, Purina, for that. So behind the scenes, NAVTA has also begun significant work on two major infrastructure projects. The first is a transition to a new database platform, and the second is a comprehensive website overhaul. And these projects are critical investments in NAVTA's future meant to improve your member experience, help streamline operations, enhance communication capabilities, and create a stronger technological foundation that can help support future growth. So for the new database, I just wanted to give you guys a heads up that you're going to need to reset your member password. Don't do it yet, though. Probably early September, expect an email with instructions on how to do that and how to access the member benefits in the new system, but then also on the new website. And then I also want to point out that you will also soon be seeing a call for nominations for NAVTA's Veterinary Technician of the Year Award. And I strongly encourage you to consider nominating that great vet tech that you worked with every single day, or the awesome vet tech that was your mentor. And really having recognition by your peers is one of the greatest rewards that someone can receive. So take some time, think about, a technician that's made an impact on you, nominate them because, we want to hear about all these great vet techs that are out there. So I think you can see over the last few months, we've demonstrated the incredible momentum that exists within NAVTA, from our leadership development to the district reps training, advocacy, coalition building, specialty support, governance initiatives, educational investment, technology improvement, and membership growth. NAVTA continues to move forward on many, many fronts simultaneously. So I want to thank you all for not just for your commitment to the profession, but your support of NAVTA, the important work that y'all do every day for your patients, your clients, your colleagues, and veterinary medicine as a whole. And then lastly, if you are attending WVC in Nashville, come see us. So we're going to have a NAVTA booth. Board members are going to be there. Staff members will be there. Come say hello, take selfies. We have a whiteboard that says, "Why am I a NAVTA member?" And you can get your picture taken, and then you'll be featured on the website or on our social media. We're going to have some cool swag, but we would really love to see you there. I even got cowboy boots. I got new cowboy boots for this. I'm very excited, but we would really love to see you stop by the NAVTA booth and say hello to all of us. So that was my wrap up, but I really appreciate you guys joining us today, and I'm happy to answer any questions that you might have.
Jenn, have you ever done line dancing before?
Oh, you don't want to see me dance. It's really bad. I have two left feet. It's pretty horrific. I love it. I love to dance. I am awful.
It'll be fun.
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
Any questions? I know. Let me just check that over into the chat. There's nothing in the Q&A, but anything in the chat box. Not seeing anything there.
You guys, no questions. Otherwise, you guys would get done early.
Awesome stuff. Well, Jenn,
Oh, wait. I see a little notification.
Are there any advances in title protection? Is the question from Julia Rosenthal.
So yeah, so there are advances being made, but it's via state to state, and our government relations committee, as well as the DR, the district representatives, they work with the state associations, the vet tech associations, and with any legislation. There's movement again, it albeit slow on some aspects, but I do see some things moving forward in many of the states. My state, Arizona, not moving forward. But also, AVMA has their committee CAFT, which is the Committee on Advancing Veterinary Technicians and Technologists. And they're also making movements in regards to helping in regards to not just title protection, but also technician integration within the veterinary team. And they have a NAVTA representative. Jamie Rauscher is our NAVTA representative for that committee as well. So the needle's moving, albeit slow.
Anyone else? Questions?
I see in the chat. Watch out, Colorado. Colorado, great stuff with the VPA. Oh, Dr. Casey had a question, has a question in the chat.
Yeah.
Um, I know you mentioned supporting the VTS colleagues. What are some specific ways that NAFTA is moving forward and providing support and encouraging the VTS pathways? So we've got a new chair for the CVTS committee, who's Shiri Olette, who's just amazing. And she's doing a fantastic job. We are looking at ways that that NAFTA and the CVTS can work better together, and kind of redefine our relationship with NAFTA and the committee and how we can help them better. And I think one of the first things is having these VTS specific webinars. I think that's going to make a big impact, and it's going to showcase what the VTSs know and what they can provide.
Jen, we're also trying to showcase the VTS. We've been asking for, and anybody on the webinar might have case studies, not only as a webinar, but also for publication in the NAVTA journal. So that might be something where a VTS might need that or use that as part of their credentialing moving forward. So certainly that's a way of supporting. And there's always been flyers and promotion things that we do in terms of promoting that as a career path and that career ladder that we talk about when we were talking about the VPA, and what that means and what is a career ladder. We've always said that the epitome of that is really the VTS. And so there's lots of promotion that we do on the marketing side of it, but there certainly could be more that we can do on that end.
Dr. Casey made a comment, CAFT would welcome support in New Jersey and New England, some of the states that we're targeting. Are there plans for the mid-level practitioner committee to be meeting? Not at that time. I think we're kind of waiting to see how things play out currently. So the task force is just temporarily on hold. But I'm sure we'll be talking about that when we all meet in August as well.
And then just, Jen, if I could just reflect back on Dr. Casey's comment too about title protection in New Jersey and New England. We've certainly got boots on the ground there with our DRs reaching out to both of those states there. I think that might be Kathy Core in both of those. I think they might both be in Kathy's region, if I'm remembering the DRs correctly. So we're definitely aware of that. GRC is working on it. For those of you who don't know, I wear two hats. I'm the executive director for NAVTA, but I'm also the executive director for the New Jersey Veterinary Medical Association. So that's NJVMA has been involved with that conversation with the Vet Tech Association there from the very beginning. I think Mike Azzarello might be, or at least was on this. I'm not sure if he still is. Mike and I have been talking about this since Mike came on. So it's something that we think is going to get done relatively quickly in New Jersey.
Yeah, he commented. Yeah.
Okay.
Question about title protection coming in Michigan, also better description from in Michigan for LVTs. I have not heard anything going on in Michigan,
Yeah.
but we can definitely check with our district reps and see if there's anything coming down the pipeline. But if you know of anything that we need to help with, absolutely, please don't hesitate to let us know.
Yeah, we can certainly get back to that. I'm not seeing anything in my government affairs Michigan folder for that recently. We can certainly check into that though. Oh,
Oh, okay. Caitlin commented, so she's the
yeah,
DR from Michigan. Nothing, no updates in Michigan.
that's the beauty of these. I love,
Yeah, I know.
I appreciate that. Great job. Awesome.
It makes me happy also just to see the chat going on
Yeah.
and people helping out and just things in the chat too. So you guys are the best.
Thank you, Lauren. Great idea. Awesome. Yeah. Any movement in Connecticut specifically?
I
Um,
haven't heard anything about Connecticut either.
no, it was back in January. I know we heard something. Um, I haven't heard anything recently. I don't know. Is Kathy on this call? I'm not seeing her.
I
Oh,
thought
Kathy is. Yeah, I don't know. Kathy, if
she
you can,
was.
yeah. Mary Burke says, I can't see the chat somehow in the panelist section. Well, Mary, congratulations. You moved up. Okay. Yeah. And thank you, Dr. Casey. Nothing yet. Still trying in Connecticut. Thank you. Awesome. The power and beauty of networking,
Hmm.
combined collaborative thinking. Thank you all.
I know. I love it. Well, definitely don't be strangers, guys. I'll be at ABTE next week and then I'll be at WVC and please come say hi. And if you've got questions or comments or if anything, I'll buy you a coffee. We can sit and chat. So,
Absolutely.
although I don't drink coffee, but I'll have a Coke Zero. So,
And you can
but
certainly drop us an email at either at info@nafta.net or director@nafta.net. We're here to help you. We're here to serve.
yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, everybody. Have a great night.
Bye, all.
Thank you.